Coming up on Mountain News this morning, SNAP benefits are at risk in local food pantries, and some schools are being hit hard with COVID cases at the beginning of the school year.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6:30 on August 24th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast on this Thursday morning. And students are up, kids are up, ready to go to school this morning. I know a big concern is that heat.
Right.
So parents, make sure that your kids are wearing light colored, loose clothing and just be prepared.
And I think we've ran some stories earlier this week. A lot of teachers and schools will probably keep them inside. School administrators not let them go outside for recess and stuff as much. But again, that's probably a good call the next couple of days because it is going to be hot and humid. That's why we're in our first alert weather day. We basically did it for heat, but there could be a new wrinkle in the forecast a little bit later this morning and tomorrow as well. Let's take a look and see what's going on right now on the London Corbin Airport camera. Not too much there, looking pretty good. Starting to lighten up there just a little bit this morning, but off to the north, there is some pretty good bouts of rain across the Ohio River in Ohio. Temperatures here, you wouldn't know that rain was coming. 79 Louisville, 76 Lexington. Everybody else basically in the upper 60s and low to mid 70s out there this morning. A little cooler in Southwest Virginia, like it always is. 95 this afternoon, but here's the thing. How much rain do we get? How long does it last? Can temperatures rebound enough? But regardless, I think we'll be 90 or above. You factor in that heat index today, it will basically feel like close to 100, upper 90s. It's still an uncertain forecast, though. Models are all over the place. But we're going to talk about something that I think they're kind of trying to start to line up on here in the next few minutes. But I can tell you this, too. Record temperatures possible the next couple of days as well. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. We now know the name of the person who died in a crash in Pulaski County. We first told you about this on Monday. The Pulaski County Coroner's Office pronounced the passenger, 65-year-old Veronica Armstrong of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, dead at the scene of the crash. 63-year-old Curtis J. Justice of Grove City, Ohio, was operating the motorcycle and was flown out to UK hospital with severe injuries. The crash happened between a car and a motorcycle on East Kentucky 80 and Squibb Anno Road. An altercation that took place on a Clark County school bus yesterday left a student severely injured, with his family still searching for answers. Casey Martin says her 12-year-old son, Bo Baker, told her he had been hit by a high school student while they were on the bus, resulting in a head injury that required 8 staples.
First thing I immediately knew I was going to press charges to the fullest extent. I don't believe they should be attending any more public schools in here. I 110%. Whatever they can be charged with, I want them charged with it.
Although the cause of the altercation has not been determined, Martin says a video of it was posted on social media and was circulating online. She says her son is recovering physically, but is still struggling mentally. SNAP benefits could be at risk for some that need it. WYMT's RJ Johnson spoke with a food bank operator about how this could impact their services.
Food pantries across the region are crucial for helping people that are food insecure.
And the biggest numbers we do are with elderly, people that are on limited income, and they get the minimum amount of food stamps. So some of them, it's very difficult for them to make it.
Vicki Holbrook is the director of the Letcher County Food Pantry, and she says she is seeing an increase in folks needing their services. She says it becomes a matter of you either eat or buy other needs, such as medicine or pay bills.
Only need us now that groceries have continued to go so high, along with gas, and Eastern Kentucky has the highest power bills in the whole state.
She says she's concerned for those who might see a decrease in SNAP benefits or lose it altogether.
I am concerned. I do get concerned for my elderly, especially. Some of them have children that have moved away, and you know they don't want to let their children know.
Holbrook says if she sees a large increase of customers, she will just buy more.
Depending on what my budget is, I will buy more. You know, I will buy more food.
In Whitesburg, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Holbrook says you can donate to food pantries monetarily or by donating. She says stores like Food City, Walmart, and Dollar General often have ways to donate as well. Following the flood last July, the Lost Creek Post Office building was destroyed and has yet to reopen, leaving residents without one of their community staples and forcing them to travel to Jackson for many of their postal needs. Breathitt County Circuit Court Clerk James Turner says the residents do have a temporary service and a way to get mail. However, it still creates problems for the community, especially during the summer heat.
It's going to be 95 degrees, record heat all this week, so it's not good when you got packages, you got medication that need to be delivered and has to be stored in a trailer like it right there. Now, once again, we're very thankful for this trailer, but I know the U.S. government can do better than this.
Turner says the post office is important to the Lost Creek community and folks are ready to see it back open. In the first weeks of the academic year, multiple Kentucky school districts are already feeling the impacts of COVID. Lee and Magoffin County schools, along with Jenkins Independent, have shut down for the week, while Laurel County is also tracking a rise in cases from school-aged kids. Jeremy Toms spoke with health officials about the issues they are seeing.
Magoffin County Schools is less than 2 weeks into the new year, and yet illness has already caught up to its student body.
We've seen an uptick of just absenteeism, but they were saying COVID, and they were also putting strep in there and a virus that had been going around here, a stomach virus.
Pete Shepard directs the county's health department and says it started as a combination of illnesses.
The last month before school, we hardly gave out any home test.
But now COVID has risen above the rest.
We started giving them out again, and we can't get them fast enough to give them out.
Shepard says the department confirmed at least 40 cases on Monday and Tuesday alone, with many others testing at home and keeping their kids out of school. The uptick comes in advance of a new vaccine being rolled out to combat the latest COVID strain. It's one which Shepard doesn't see his county taking much interest in.
Most parents are just, their kids are going to get sick with it. We want to hold them home and we'll send them to school. They're not worrying about vaccinations. We can't hardly give a vaccine away now for the COVID.
He added that's due in part to the fact they are only seeing mild cases at this point. But Shepard wants students and people at risk to be careful as these diseases continue to spread.
They are resilient, and like I say, they're not getting as sick, so that's the good thing. So, but we can always take precautions.
Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Shepard says those simple precautions should include washing your hands and staying home when you're sick. But Dr. Stephen Stack says everyone should consider the new vaccine as well once it's available. Baptist Health and UK Healthcare say they have between 9 and 22 COVID patients, respectively. One Pike County rescue farm is bringing a host of horses to its Salyersville show. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the competition and its mission.
3 Mile Creek Rescue Farm is hosting a horse hangout.
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I've been doing horses for 45 years, so that's all my friends and like family to me.
The 2023 horse show is on the calendar this weekend, saddling up the stallions while raising money for rescue efforts.
Very important. The 100% of the money from this goes to our rescued animals, and we need it desperately to build our fences back, everything after the flood, and so we can bring our animals back home.
The Dorton farm was hit by floodwaters last year, forcing owner Rob Elkins to rely on other rescues for his furry friends.
We have tons of animals in different places right now in foster homes. It's keeping them for us because we don't have a place to keep them after the flood.
Now he hopes the proceeds from the Saturday show will help with repairs for the rescue, while highlighting the Magoffin County Horse Park.
Come on, girls! Hey, girls! That horse park is amazing. I wouldn't doubt if it's not the nicest horse facility in eastern Kentucky. They've done so many upgrades. This year they added number 2 grade sand. That's the same thing that's on the racetrack.
Seeing support from riders and rescue workers all around the region.
We've had a lot of feedback. We are getting a lot on Facebook and all of our social medias. We've had tons of calls, and it looks like we're going to have a huge crowd.
Taking the reins on rescue with an equine exhibit. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The show includes prizes and more. Elkins says anyone with questions about the horse show can contact him through the 3 Mile Creek Farms Facebook page.
6:40 here on this Thursday morning. We continue to track some rain off to our north there using live pinpoint Doppler radar. It's closing in on the river. Some heavy pockets, nothing severe, lots of lightning with it. So I do believe we'll see some rain a little bit later on this morning in our area, unless it just hits some drier air and fizzles out. But again, keeping a close eye on that as it gets closer to the river. Temperatures mild and muggy here across the region. 60s and 70s, dew points in the 60s and 70s. So it's definitely air you can wear out there this morning. 63 Clintwood to 73 in Jackson and Ashland and Monticello this morning. Out the door forecast is going to feature hot and humid conditions, back and forth chances for maybe a couple of stray showers. Right now forecasting 95. The rain may keep us just a little bit cooler though if we can't rebound fast enough once it comes through. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. A familiar face for longtime viewers of WYMT has died. Former weather anchor Jeff Noble worked at WYMT in the early years of the station and left in 1993. Noble later spent time working for WLEX TV in Lexington and our sister station WBKO in Bowling Green. In more recent years, he worked for newspapers in Corbin and his native Breathitt County. He was the editor of the Jackson Times Voice newspaper until his retirement 2 years ago. In 2010, he returned to WYMT as a guest anchor during our 25th anniversary celebration. You might remember his 3-day sneaky peeks or his salute at the end of each newscast. The last time we saw Noble was last year, right after the flood. Our sister station, WKYT, was live on the air as Noble was rescued from his home in Jackson. There will be no public services for Noble, and his cause of death was not released. Jeff Noble was 69 years old. He would have been 70 in November. All of us at WYMT send our condolences to his family, friends, and former coworkers.